Hello everyone, this is Tracy Newman from the Navigator's Tarot, here to bring you a masculine reading. We'll have a look and see what's going on with the masculines. Okay, all of a sudden I've just gotten a lot of stuff that just needed to be released then. I'll have a look. So in the past we have the devil energies here. Something that which is about ego as well, which is what the masculine energies have been closely aligned with as the matrix. It's a 3D matrix world, very connected to that through the toxic patriarchal system that's been in control of the world for millennia. And but we're moving out of that now, and the masculine energies are moving out of that. Now, when I talk about the masculine, I'm not talking about the masculine as in gender. I'm talking about the energies which we all have, masculine and feminine energies within. We all have this attachment to the 3D matrix world, which is undergoing a massive turnaround and change for us all. However, if you have a greater amount of the masculine energy, you will probably have experienced quite a bit of the ego that is attached to the 3D matrix world. But we're now, and you will also be affected by these changes that are coming through. We all will to some extent, but those that are that house the greater amount of the masculine energies at this time will be, if you've had addictions in the past to, say, sex, drugs, that sort of stuff, and, being very ego-based and shallow relationship-based, you will be undergoing a change because you have no choice but to do that. And look, you know what? We have all been in these situations at some point, and or know others that have been in this situation. This is not about judgment. This is about actually being the observer and seeing how we have been part of that system of shallow interactions and addictions and all that sort of stuff. So, which has been what the 3D matrix world has basically promoted, so that we never ever understand the truth of who we really are, and honed very, very much on the subjugation of the feminine by the masculine. And really, really controlled that dynamic. But now we're coming out of that. We're breaking free from all of that. And so all of us are going to be going through these massive changes. And there is this Lionsgate portal, which is also about the line of Judah, who is the Christ. This is like the reclamation of the land and our and all that is within, that lies within, as we reclaim the land and reaffirm our connection to the Christ energies in the form of the line of Judah. These are the end times, and the line of Judah, of course, is the representation of Jesus Christ in the end times, as mentioned in the book of Revelations in the Bible. I hope that makes sense. Yes, so we have the ending of cycles. There's also 2 for the masculine. 3 of Wands. So he's really taking stock and looking at his life and seeing just how he can actually move into a more peaceful time in his life. He's starting to also reflect and see just how he has bought into the toxic masculine traits of the 3D masculine world. And just being now the observer and being understanding of just how he now is responsible for those changes and the shifts and the changes that are coming through the Christ energies that are now here on the earth plane, as within, so without. And as we reaffirm and reconnect to those Christ-like energies within, we'll begin to see it in our outer world as these changes shift and, come into being. So the struggle is for the masculine, though, to end these toxic cycles. But brought about by the devil. But, which is the ego once again. It's always ever present, but once he begins to find the truth of who he is and becomes the observer of his own life, then he will sort of be able to make those shifts and changes a little more easily. The Page of Swords here. Yes, so he's beginning to find the truth of who he really is. And the way he's done that has been, because the masculine energies have never really been that connected to the heart center or the solar plexus feeling center. And it's actually taken the Three of Swords, like some swords in his heart, for it to basically even make him even connected to that heart center at all, to recognize that there is something that is like that allows him to feel. And even though it has come in the form of heartbreak, it literally has been the truth that these heartbreaks have caused him to once upon a time to go within and to cut off and shut off his heart center. But that is now, he's beginning to see just how that has been detrimental in his life. And because he's cut that off and that feeling center off, he has been basically led by the nose by the devil, left himself wide open. But that's now beginning to change and shift. He's moving into calmer waters. This is a very lonely journey for the masculine, I have to say. The masculine is doing this, and this is about walking away from ego, walking away from shallow interactions, walking away from anything that does not serve him anymore. And the truth is, these toxic traits of the patriarchal system and the connection to the 3D matrix world and like addictions and all that sort of stuff have been very good at keeping the swords in place and also shutting off the heart center. But we can't be in that energy anymore. Like literally, we now have to reaffirm, reclaim our life for Jesus Christ, the Christ energies, which is about truth, honor, love, unconditional love, and acceptance, and also to like a communion and a care for a genuine care for others. So opening up that heart center and seeing the big picture that is not connected. So we have the Eight of Cups here, which is literally about going within deeply and walking away, choosing to walk away from energies that no longer serve him. And because we have the Two of Wands, we also have the Three of Wands. So this is about looking out and seeing just how he can actually plan on moving forward in his life in a more loving and kind way, more connected way to his heart center and his solar plexus center. Been huge shifts, especially for the masculine. Masculine also, look, this higher version of self wishes to come through. And, as I've said before, going within and walking away from what no longer serves him, and actually being able to see and have a bigger picture of what he wants to see in his life and what he wants to let into his life as these shifts and changes occur. We have the Hermit and the Hierophant. This is a higher state of being. He wants to move into these more priest-like energies. When I say priest-like, it's more like the priest as in the more, I'm getting moral. Okay. A higher morality is what I'm hearing. But not when I talk about the priest, I actually more talk about like the way the original priest and priestesses, not the priests that are, not the Catholic priests that are celibate, That's not what I mean. This is more about true wisdom, loving communication coming from within. So as within, so without. And so as he begins to really come into communion and union within and find the truth of who he really is within, which is a kind, loving, nurturing and generous being full of wisdom, inner knowledge and inner wisdom, not that which you gain from from the 3D matrix world, that which lies within. It's like a remembrance of the priest-like energies of Atlantis, that type of energy, which goes way beyond anything that we have known in the 3D matrix world. I hope that makes some sense. The Eight of Wands. So he's really trying to communicate. And the way to do that, he may communicate to others, but this is about communication from within. This is communication from the wisdom and the truth and the honor and recognition of those beautiful priest-like energies of Avalon. It's weird. It's kind of, I don't even know why I'm picking that up. I've got no idea. But to do that, he must go within and become the hermit and find those energies from within. And so this is literally about committing to the truth that's starting to come through, the wisdom that he already knows, that, you know, is ancient, this ancient wisdom. It's quite esoteric, this reading for the masculine. So starting to move away from that 3D matrix world, which has kept him in control for a millennia through the ego. As I've said before, as within, so without. But this is also not about gender. It can be for those that are very much caught up in that 3D matrix world through the masculine, which is energy. So, yeah. Then we have the Ten of Cups. So this is literally wanting to share his love that he has found within his heart center. And it's like a communal type of, but it's also happy families as well. So it's more about giving of himself to his family. Now that can be in the form of friends, family, whatever, that in whatever shape that comes in. So a much more kind of responsive and also to generous feeling from the masculine, from that heart center. Coming to the end of old cycles. You must also be very careful, though. The Seven of Swords does come in. And the Seven of Swords can be about strategy, but can also be about stealing away from others, like cheating and that sort of thing. So, you know, so what the masculine must recognise, if he cheats on another, he ultimately cheats on himself. So that's another thing that the masculine, the 3D masculine, that has been connected very, very much to the ego, to the 3D matrix world. The devil comes in the form of this a lot for the masculine. It comes up a lot in readings. And what have we got here? The Six of Pentacles. So yes, this is also about being, so this can also mean strategy. You know, this is not always about cheating. It can also be about strategy and finding those tools within to sort of like renew his connection to himself and also to the outer world. And finding a strategy of how he can do that without hurting others now. He's very more, we have the Ace of Pentacles here. Moving forward, grounding his energies and looking at his options. And literally, this is what he wants, which is the Ten of Pentacles. So he has the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Best two cards in the deck because they're literally about happiness and family. And so he's looking at his options as to how he can actually manifest this into his life, which is a lot more grounded and more kind of like tapping into those beautiful energies of commitment to himself, therefore others as well. So he's really starting to look at that. Those commitment energies are coming through. I don't know where I got that from, but there you go. To himself and others, as within, so without. And to do that, he's using the wisdom that has always been around for a millennia, but he's not been open to in the past. But now he's beginning to bring those energies of the high priest into his life. The wisdom of the high priest of Avalon. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So therefore, he will also become a much more loving, kind individual to himself and others. I hope that makes sense, and I shall see you anon. Bye for now.